Welcome to episode 7 of our Situational English series. In this episode, we will teach you simple English for job interviews. You'll learn how to answer common questions and talk confidently in your next interview. This episode is perfect for beginners who want to feel ready and relaxed when speaking English in a job interview. Let's get started and practice together. If you find this helpful, please like the video, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more easy English lessons. I'm here for an interview. I'm here for an interview. I'm here for an interview. Can you tell me about the company? Can you tell me about the company? Can you tell me about the company? We focus on innovation and customer satisfaction. We focus on innovation and customer satisfaction. We focus on innovation and customer satisfaction. What does this job involve? What does this job involve? What does this job involve? Customer service and handling inquiries. Customer service and handling inquiries. Customer service and handling inquiries. Why do you want to work here? Why do you want to work here? Why do you want to work here? I admire the company's growth and values. I admire the company's growth and values. I admire the company's growth and values. What are your strengths? What are your strengths? What are your strengths? I'm a good communicator and a quick learner. I'm a good communicator and a quick learner. I'm a good communicator and a quick learner. What are your weaknesses? What are your weaknesses? What are your weaknesses? I sometimes overthink, but I'm improving. I sometimes overthink, but I'm improving. I sometimes overthink, but I'm improving. Tell me about your previous work experience. Tell me about your previous work experience. Tell me about your previous work experience. I've worked in customer service for 2 years. I've worked in customer service for 2 years. I've worked in customer service for 2 years. Why did you leave your last job? Why did you leave your last job? Why did you leave your last job? I'm looking for new challenges and growth. I'm looking for new challenges and growth. I'm looking for new challenges and growth. What is your biggest accomplishment? What is your biggest accomplishment? What is your biggest accomplishment? I helped increase customer satisfaction by 20%. I helped increase customer satisfaction by 20%. I helped increase customer satisfaction by 20%. Why should we hire you? Why should we hire you? Why should we hire you? I have the skills and passion for this role. I have the skills and passion for this role. I have the skills and passion for this role. What can you bring to the company? What can you bring to the company? What can you bring to the company? I bring problem-solving skills and dedication. I bring problem-solving skills and dedication. I bring problem-solving skills and dedication. How do you handle stress? How do you handle stress? How do you handle stress? I stay organized and prioritize my tasks. I stay organized and prioritize my tasks. I stay organized and prioritize my tasks. Are you a team player? Are you a team player? Are you a team player? Yes, I enjoy collaborating with others. Yes, I enjoy collaborating with others. Yes, I enjoy collaborating with others. Tell me about a time when you worked in a team. Tell me about a time when you worked in a team. Tell me about a time when you worked in a team. I worked with my team to meet deadlines. I worked with my team to meet deadlines. I worked with my team to meet deadlines. What motivates you? What motivates you? What motivates you? I'm motivated by achieving goals. I'm motivated by achieving goals. I'm motivated by achieving goals. How do you deal with challenges? How do you deal with challenges? How do you deal with challenges? I stay focused and find solutions. I stay focused and find solutions. I stay focused and find solutions. What are your career goals? What are your career goals? What are your career goals? I aim to advance in my field and take on more responsibility. I aim to advance in my field and take on more responsibility. I aim to advance in my field and take on more responsibility. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I see myself in a more senior role. I see myself in a more senior role. I see myself in a more senior role. Why do you want this job? Why do you want this job? Why do you want this job? This job aligns with my skills and interests. This job aligns with my skills and interests. This job aligns with my skills and interests. What skills do you bring to the table? What skills do you bring to the table? What skills do you bring to the table? I bring strong communication and time management skills. I bring strong communication and time management skills. I bring strong communication and time management skills. What experience do you have in this field? What experience do you have in this field? What experience do you have in this field? I've worked in customer support for 2 years. I've worked in customer support for 2 years. I've worked in customer support for 2 years. How do you prioritize tasks? How do you prioritize tasks? How do you prioritize tasks? I focus on the most urgent and important tasks. I focus on the most urgent and important tasks. I focus on the most urgent and important tasks. Can you describe a difficult situation you handled at work? Can you describe a difficult situation you handled at work? Can you describe a difficult situation you handled at work? I resolved a customer issue by offering a quick solution. I resolved a customer issue by offering a quick solution. I resolved a customer issue by offering a quick solution. What software programs are you familiar with? What software programs are you familiar with? What software programs are you familiar with? I'm familiar with Microsoft Office and CRM tools. I'm familiar with Microsoft Office and CRM tools. I'm familiar with Microsoft Office and CRM tools. How do you stay organized? How do you stay organized? How do you stay organized? I use to-do lists and a calendar to manage my tasks. I use to-do lists and a calendar to manage my tasks. I use to-do lists and a calendar to manage my tasks. Do you have any leadership experience? Do you have any leadership experience? Do you have any leadership experience? Yes, I've led a small team to meet project goals. Yes, I've led a small team to meet project goals. Yes, I've led a small team to meet project goals. How do you manage your time? How do you manage your time? How do you manage your time? I set priorities and use time management tools. I set priorities and use time management tools. I set priorities and use time management tools. Are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to relocate? Yes, I'm open to relocation. Yes, I'm open to relocation. Yes, I'm open to relocation. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me? Yes, I'd like to know about the team structure. Yes, I'd like to know about the team structure. Yes, I'd like to know about the team structure. How do you stay current with industry trends? How do you stay current with industry trends? How do you stay current with industry trends? I read blogs and attend webinars. I read blogs and attend webinars. I read blogs and attend webinars. Do you prefer working independently or as part of a team? Do you prefer working independently or as part of a team? Do you prefer working independently or as part of a team? I enjoy both and can adapt to the situation. I enjoy both and can adapt to the situation. I enjoy both and can adapt to the situation. What is your preferred working environment? What is your preferred working environment? What is your preferred working environment? I prefer a collaborative and supportive environment. I prefer a collaborative and supportive environment. I prefer a collaborative and supportive environment. How do you handle conflict at work? How do you handle conflict at work? How do you handle conflict at work? I listen carefully and seek a fair resolution. I listen carefully and seek a fair resolution. I listen carefully and seek a fair resolution. How would you describe your communication skills? How would you describe your communication skills? How would you describe your communication skills? I'm clear, concise, and can adapt to the audience. I'm clear, concise, and can adapt to the audience. I'm clear, concise, and can adapt to the audience. Can you give an example of a project you've led? Can you give an example of a project you've led? Can you give an example of a project you've led? I led a project to improve team productivity. I led a project to improve team productivity. I led a project to improve team productivity. What is your approach to problem solving? What is your approach to problem solving? What is your approach to problem solving? I analyze the situation and choose the best solution. I analyze the situation and choose the best solution. I analyze the situation and choose the best solution. Can you describe a situation where you showed initiative? Can you describe a situation where you showed initiative? Can you describe a situation where you showed initiative? I suggested a new process that improved workflow. I suggested a new process that improved workflow. I suggested a new process that improved workflow. Do you have any certifications relevant to this job? Do you have any certifications relevant to this job? Do you have any certifications relevant to this job? Yes, I'm certified in customer service excellence. Yes, I'm certified in customer service excellence. Yes, I'm certified in customer service excellence. What do you know about our company? What do you know about our company? What do you know about our company? You value innovation and customer care. You value innovation and customer care. You value innovation and customer care. Why do you want to work in this industry? Why do you want to work in this industry? Why do you want to work in this industry? I'm passionate about customer service and tech. I'm passionate about customer service and tech. I'm passionate about customer service and tech. What type of work culture do you thrive in? What type of work culture do you thrive in? What type of work culture do you thrive in? I thrive in a positive, collaborative environment. I thrive in a positive, collaborative environment. I thrive in a positive, collaborative environment. What do you enjoy most about your job? What do you enjoy most about your job? What do you enjoy most about your job? I enjoy solving problems and helping people. I enjoy solving problems and helping people. I enjoy solving problems and helping people. What challenges have you faced in your previous roles? What challenges have you faced in your previous roles? What challenges have you faced in your previous roles? Handling difficult customers, but I resolved it successfully. Handling difficult customers, but I resolved it successfully. Handling difficult customers, but I resolved it successfully. How do you deal with failure? How do you deal with failure? How do you deal with failure? I learn from it and try again with a better approach. I learn from it and try again with a better approach. I learn from it and try again with a better approach. Are you comfortable working under pressure? Are you comfortable working under pressure? Are you comfortable working under pressure? Yes, I stay focused and deliver results under pressure. Yes, I stay focused and deliver results under pressure. Yes, I stay focused and deliver results under pressure. What kind of tasks do you enjoy doing the most? What kind of tasks do you enjoy doing the most? What kind of tasks do you enjoy doing the most? I enjoy tasks that challenge me and help others. I enjoy tasks that challenge me and help others. I enjoy tasks that challenge me and help others. What type of management style do you prefer? What type of management style do you prefer? What type of management style do you prefer? I prefer a supportive, clear, and fair management style. I prefer a supportive, clear, and fair management style. I prefer a supportive, clear, and fair management style. What do you think makes a good leader? What do you think makes a good leader? What do you think makes a good leader? A good leader listens, motivates, and guides their team. A good leader listens, motivates, and guides their team. A good leader listens, motivates, and guides their team. What type of work excites you? What type of work excites you? What type of work excites you? I get excited by work that involves problem solving. I get excited by work that involves problem solving. I get excited by work that involves problem solving. How do you keep yourself motivated during routine tasks? How do you keep yourself motivated during routine tasks? How do you keep yourself motivated during routine tasks? I focus on the bigger picture and set small goals. I focus on the bigger picture and set small goals. I focus on the bigger picture and set small goals. Tell me about a time when you solved a problem creatively. Tell me about a time when you solved a problem creatively. Tell me about a time when you solved a problem creatively. I suggested an idea that reduced costs and saved time. I suggested an idea that reduced costs and saved time. I suggested an idea that reduced costs and saved time. How do you approach learning new skills? How do you approach learning new skills? How do you approach learning new skills? I practice and ask for feedback to improve quickly. I practice and ask for feedback to improve quickly. I practice and ask for feedback to improve quickly. Can you describe a time when you had to manage multiple tasks? Can you describe a time when you had to manage multiple tasks? Can you describe a time when you had to manage multiple tasks? I organized tasks and focused on the most urgent ones. I organized tasks and focused on the most urgent ones. I organized tasks and focused on the most urgent ones. How do you deal with tight deadlines? How do you deal with tight deadlines? How do you deal with tight deadlines? I prioritize tasks and stay focused on completing them. I prioritize tasks and stay focused on completing them. I prioritize tasks and stay focused on completing them. What's your approach to teamwork? What's your approach to teamwork? What's your approach to teamwork? I collaborate, communicate clearly, and support my team. I collaborate, communicate clearly, and support my team. I collaborate, communicate clearly, and support my team. Have you ever had a conflict with a coworker? How did you resolve it? Have you ever had a conflict with a coworker? How did you resolve it? Have you ever had a conflict with a coworker? How did you resolve it? Yes, I listened to their concerns and found a solution. Yes, I listened to their concerns and found a solution. Yes, I listened to their concerns and found a solution. How do you ensure high performance in your team? How do you ensure high performance in your team? How do you ensure high performance in your team? I set clear goals, provide support, and encourage teamwork. I set clear goals, provide support, and encourage teamwork. I set clear goals, provide support, and encourage teamwork. Do you work better under pressure or in a relaxed environment? Do you work better under pressure or in a relaxed environment? Do you work better under pressure or in a relaxed environment? I work well in both, but I thrive under pressure. I work well in both, but I thrive under pressure. I work well in both, but I thrive under pressure. What is the most challenging aspect of your previous job? What is the most challenging aspect of your previous job? What is the most challenging aspect of your previous job? Managing customer complaints, but I handled them well. Managing customer complaints, but I handled them well. Managing customer complaints, but I handled them well. Can you explain a situation where you had to adapt quickly? Can you explain a situation where you had to adapt quickly? Can you explain a situation where you had to adapt quickly? I learned new software in a short time to meet deadlines. I learned new software in a short time to meet deadlines. I learned new software in a short time to meet deadlines. What is your greatest professional achievement? What is your greatest professional achievement? What is your greatest professional achievement? Improving customer satisfaction by 20% in my last role. Improving customer satisfaction by 20% in my last role. Improving customer satisfaction by 20% in my last role. How do you deal with difficult clients? How do you deal with difficult clients? How do you deal with difficult clients? I stay calm, listen, and offer a solution to resolve the issue. I stay calm, listen, and offer a solution to resolve the issue. I stay calm, listen, and offer a solution to resolve the issue. How do you stay motivated during repetitive tasks? How do you stay motivated during repetitive tasks? How do you stay motivated during repetitive tasks? I stay focused and remind myself of the overall goal. I stay focused and remind myself of the overall goal. I stay focused and remind myself of the overall goal. Tell me about a time when you made a mistake and how you handled it. Tell me about a time when you made a mistake and how you handled it. Tell me about a time when you made a mistake and how you handled it. I quickly fixed the error and learned from it. I quickly fixed the error and learned from it. I quickly fixed the error and learned from it. How do you ensure accuracy in your work? How do you ensure accuracy in your work? How do you ensure accuracy in your work? I double-check my work and stay focused on details. I double-check my work and stay focused on details. I double-check my work and stay focused on details. What kind of feedback do you prefer to receive from your manager? What kind of feedback do you prefer to receive from your manager? What kind of feedback do you prefer to receive from your manager? I appreciate constructive feedback that helps me improve. I appreciate constructive feedback that helps me improve. I appreciate constructive feedback that helps me improve. What makes you passionate about your work? What makes you passionate about your work? What makes you passionate about your work? I'm passionate about helping others and making a difference. I'm passionate about helping others and making a difference. I'm passionate about helping others and making a difference. Can you explain how you manage your workload? Can you explain how you manage your workload? Can you explain how you manage your workload? I prioritize and use time management tools to stay organized. I prioritize and use time management tools to stay organized. I prioritize and use time management tools to stay organized. How do you make decisions at work? How do you make decisions at work? How do you make decisions at work? I gather information and consider all options before deciding. I gather information and consider all options before deciding. I gather information and consider all options before deciding. How do you handle multiple projects at the same time? How do you handle multiple projects at the same time? How do you handle multiple projects at the same time? I stay organized and focus on one task at a time. I stay organized and focus on one task at a time. I stay organized and focus on one task at a time. What interests you most about this position? What interests you most about this position? What interests you most about this position? This role offers a chance to grow and contribute to the company's success. This role offers a chance to grow and contribute to the company's success. This role offers a chance to grow and contribute to the company's success. What are your salary expectations? What are your salary expectations? What are your salary expectations? I expect a competitive salary based on my skills and experience. I expect a competitive salary based on my skills and experience. I expect a competitive salary based on my skills and experience. Are you open to flexible working hours? Are you open to flexible working hours? Are you open to flexible working hours? Yes, I'm flexible and willing to work when needed. Yes, I'm flexible and willing to work when needed. Yes, I'm flexible and willing to work when needed. What are your professional development goals? What are your professional development goals? What are your professional development goals? I aim to improve my skills and take on more leadership responsibilities. I aim to improve my skills and take on more leadership responsibilities. I aim to improve my skills and take on more leadership responsibilities. Can you work evenings or weekends if needed? Can you work evenings or weekends if needed? Can you work evenings or weekends if needed? Yes, I'm available for flexible hours. Yes, I'm available for flexible hours. Yes, I'm available for flexible hours. What do you think are the most important qualities for someone in this role? What do you think are the most important qualities for someone in this role? What do you think are the most important qualities for someone in this role? Strong communication, problem-solving, and teamwork are essential. Strong communication, problem-solving, and teamwork are essential. Strong communication, problem-solving, and teamwork are essential. How would you describe your problem-solving skills? How would you describe your problem-solving skills? How would you describe your problem-solving skills? I assess situations carefully and choose effective solutions. I assess situations carefully and choose effective solutions. I assess situations carefully and choose effective solutions. How do you stay calm during stressful situations? How do you stay calm during stressful situations? How do you stay calm during stressful situations? I take deep breaths and focus on the task at hand. I take deep breaths and focus on the task at hand. I take deep breaths and focus on the task at hand. What do you like most about this industry? What do you like most about this industry? What do you like most about this industry? I enjoy the challenges and fast-paced nature of the industry. I enjoy the challenges and fast-paced nature of the industry. I enjoy the challenges and fast-paced nature of the industry. How do you manage competing priorities? How do you manage competing priorities? How do you manage competing priorities? I prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance. I prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance. I prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance. What type of work environment do you thrive in? What type of work environment do you thrive in? What type of work environment do you thrive in? I thrive in a collaborative and positive work environment. I thrive in a collaborative and positive work environment. I thrive in a collaborative and positive work environment. Can you handle repetitive tasks? Can you handle repetitive tasks? Can you handle repetitive tasks? Yes, I stay focused and efficient to maintain quality. Yes, I stay focused and efficient to maintain quality. Yes, I stay focused and efficient to maintain quality. What is the biggest challenge you've faced at work? What is the biggest challenge you've faced at work? What is the biggest challenge you've faced at work? Balancing multiple projects, but I managed it effectively. balancing multiple projects, but I managed it effectively. Balancing multiple projects, but I managed it effectively. How do you deal with tight deadlines? How do you deal with tight deadlines? How do you deal with tight deadlines? I stay organized and break tasks into manageable steps. I stay organized and break tasks into manageable steps. I stay organized and break tasks into manageable steps. What's your experience with teamwork? What's your experience with teamwork? What's your experience with teamwork? I work well in teams, sharing ideas and supporting others. I work well in teams, sharing ideas and supporting others. I work well in teams, sharing ideas and supporting others. How do you ensure that you meet your goals? How do you ensure that you meet your goals? How do you ensure that you meet your goals? I set clear objectives and track my progress regularly. I set clear objectives and track my progress regularly. I set clear objectives and track my progress regularly. How do you handle negative feedback? How do you handle negative feedback? How do you handle negative feedback? I accept it positively and use it to improve my work. I accept it positively and use it to improve my work. I accept it positively and use it to improve my work. How do you deal with conflicts in a team? How do you deal with conflicts in a team? How do you deal with conflicts in a team? I listen to all perspectives and find a fair solution. I listen to all perspectives and find a fair solution. I listen to all perspectives and find a fair solution. Can you describe a time when you showed leadership? Can you describe a time when you showed leadership? Can you describe a time when you showed leadership? I led a team to achieve a project goal ahead of schedule. I led a team to achieve a project goal ahead of schedule. I led a team to achieve a project goal ahead of schedule. What do you think makes a great leader? What do you think makes a great leader? What do you think makes a great leader? A great leader motivates, guides, and listens to the team. A great leader motivates, guides, and listens to the team. A great leader motivates, guides, and listens to the team. How do you manage your time? How do you manage your time? How do you manage your time? I plan my day, set priorities, and avoid distractions. I plan my day, set priorities, and avoid distractions. I plan my day, set priorities, and avoid distractions. What's the most important skill for this role? What's the most important skill for this role? What's the most important skill for this role? Strong communication and time management are key. Strong communication and time management are key. Strong communication and time management are key. Do you prefer working with others or alone? Do you prefer working with others or alone? Do you prefer working with others or alone? I enjoy both, depending on the task and situation. I enjoy both, depending on the task and situation. I enjoy both, depending on the task and situation. How do you handle a mistake at work? How do you handle a mistake at work? How do you handle a mistake at work? I acknowledge it, correct it, and learn from it. I acknowledge it, correct it, and learn from it. I acknowledge it, correct it, and learn from it. How do you handle repetitive tasks? How do you handle repetitive tasks? How do you handle repetitive tasks? I stay focused and maintain quality through consistency. I stay focused and maintain quality through consistency. I stay focused and maintain quality through consistency. What's your experience with customer service? What's your experience with customer service? What's your experience with customer service? I have 2 years of experience handling customer queries and complaints. I have 2 years of experience handling customer queries and complaints. I have 2 years of experience handling customer queries and complaints. How do you keep track of your progress? How do you keep track of your progress? How do you keep track of your progress? I set goals, track results, and adjust if needed. I set goals, track results, and adjust if needed. I set goals, track results, and adjust if needed. How do you motivate yourself? How do you motivate yourself? How do you motivate yourself? I set personal goals and stay focused on achieving them. I set personal goals and stay focused on achieving them. I set personal goals and stay focused on achieving them. Do you have experience managing a team? Do you have experience managing a team? Do you have experience managing a team? Yes, I've managed small teams in previous roles. Yes, I've managed small teams in previous roles. Yes, I've managed small teams in previous roles. How do you stay productive during long hours? How do you stay productive during long hours? How do you stay productive during long hours? I take short breaks, stay organized, and keep focused. I take short breaks, stay organized, and keep focused. I take short breaks, stay organized, and keep focused. What type of management style do you prefer? What type of management style do you prefer? What type of management style do you prefer? I prefer a management style that is supportive and goal-oriented. I prefer a management style that is supportive and goal-oriented. I prefer a management style that is supportive and goal-oriented. How do you handle change in the workplace? How do you handle change in the workplace? How do you handle change in the workplace? I stay flexible, adapt quickly, and help others adjust. I stay flexible, adapt quickly, and help others adjust. I stay flexible, adapt quickly, and help others adjust. What skills are you looking to develop? What skills are you looking to develop? What skills are you looking to develop? I'm working on improving my leadership and project management skills. I'm working on improving my leadership and project management skills. I'm working on improving my leadership and project management skills. What do you do when you're overwhelmed at work? What do you do when you're overwhelmed at work? What do you do when you're overwhelmed at work? I break tasks into smaller steps and tackle them one by one. I break tasks into smaller steps and tackle them one by one. I break tasks into smaller steps and tackle them one by one. Can you work in a fast-paced environment? Can you work in a fast-paced environment? Can you work in a fast-paced environment? Yes, I thrive in dynamic, fast-paced settings. Yes, I thrive in dynamic, fast-paced settings. Yes, I thrive in dynamic, fast-paced settings. How do you ensure customer satisfaction? How do you ensure customer satisfaction? How do you ensure customer satisfaction? I listen to customer concerns and provide quick, effective solutions. I listen to customer concerns and provide quick, effective solutions. I listen to customer concerns and provide quick, effective solutions. How do you handle criticism? How do you handle criticism? How do you handle criticism? I listen, learn from it, and apply the feedback to improve. I listen, learn from it, and apply the feedback to improve. I listen, learn from it, and apply the feedback to improve. What's your approach to working on a team project? What's your approach to working on a team project? What's your approach to working on a team project? I collaborate, share ideas, and make sure everyone contributes. I collaborate, share ideas, and make sure everyone contributes. I collaborate, share ideas, and make sure everyone contributes. How do you handle tight schedules? How do you handle tight schedules? How do you handle tight schedules? I stay organized, prioritize, and work efficiently. I stay organized, prioritize, and work efficiently. I stay organized, prioritize, and work efficiently. What are your professional goals? What are your professional goals? What are your professional goals? I aim to grow into a leadership role and take on more responsibilities. I aim to grow into a leadership role and take on more responsibilities. I aim to grow into a leadership role and take on more responsibilities. What are you most proud of in your career? What are you most proud of in your career? What are you most proud of in your career? I'm proud of leading projects that resulted in increased efficiency. I'm proud of leading projects that resulted in increased efficiency. I'm proud of leading projects that resulted in increased efficiency. How do you manage multiple deadlines? How do you manage multiple deadlines? How do you manage multiple deadlines? I prioritize tasks based on urgency and break them into smaller steps. I prioritize tasks based on urgency and break them into smaller steps. I prioritize tasks based on urgency and break them into smaller steps. How do you stay motivated when tasks are repetitive? How do you stay motivated when tasks are repetitive? How do you stay motivated when tasks are repetitive? I remind myself of the larger goal and stay focused. I remind myself of the larger goal and stay focused. I remind myself of the larger goal and stay focused. What do you think are the key qualities of a good team member? What do you think are the key qualities of a good team member? What do you think are the key qualities of a good team member? Collaboration, communication, and reliability are key qualities. Collaboration, communication, and reliability are key qualities. Collaboration, communication, and reliability are key qualities. How do you handle multiple tasks at once? How do you handle multiple tasks at once? How do you handle multiple tasks at once? I stay organized and tackle tasks one by one. I stay organized and tackle tasks one by one. I stay organized and tackle tasks one by one. How do you ensure the quality of your work? How do you ensure the quality of your work? How do you ensure the quality of your work? I double-check my work and maintain attention to detail. I double-check my work and maintain attention to detail. I double-check my work and maintain attention to detail. How do you deal with customers who are difficult to satisfy? How do you deal with customers who are difficult to satisfy? How do you deal with customers who are difficult to satisfy? I listen carefully and offer solutions to resolve the issue. I listen carefully and offer solutions to resolve the issue. I listen carefully and offer solutions to resolve the issue. What do you enjoy most about your job? What do you enjoy most about your job? What do you enjoy most about your job? I enjoy solving problems and helping others. I enjoy solving problems and helping others. I enjoy solving problems and helping others. What challenges do you face when working with others? What challenges do you face when working with others? What challenges do you face when working with others? Sometimes coordinating schedules can be difficult, but we manage it. Sometimes coordinating schedules can be difficult, but we manage it. Sometimes coordinating schedules can be difficult, but we manage it. How do you stay productive in a busy workplace? How do you stay productive in a busy workplace? How do you stay productive in a busy workplace? I stay organized, focus on one task at a time, and avoid distractions. I stay organized, focus on one task at a time, and avoid distractions. I stay organized, focus on one task at a time, and avoid distractions. Can you give an example of a time you worked under pressure? Can you give an example of a time you worked under pressure? Can you give an example of a time you worked under pressure? I met a tight deadline by organizing my tasks and staying focused. I met a tight deadline by organizing my tasks and staying focused. I met a tight deadline by organizing my tasks and staying focused. How do you stay organized in your work? How do you stay organized in your work? How do you stay organized in your work? I use task lists, calendars, and reminders to keep everything on track. I use task lists, calendars, and reminders to keep everything on track. I use task lists, calendars, and reminders to keep everything on track. What do you like about working with customers? What do you like about working with customers? What do you like about working with customers? I enjoy helping customers and resolving their issues efficiently. I enjoy helping customers and resolving their issues efficiently. I enjoy helping customers and resolving their issues efficiently. What makes you a good fit for this role? What makes you a good fit for this role? What makes you a good fit for this role? My experience and skills align perfectly with the role. My experience and skills align perfectly with the role. My experience and skills align perfectly with the role. How do you make decisions when under pressure? How do you make decisions when under pressure? How do you make decisions when under pressure? I stay calm, gather the necessary information, and make a decision. I stay calm, gather the necessary information, and make a decision. I stay calm, gather the necessary information, and make a decision. How do you deal with distractions at work? How do you deal with distractions at work? How do you deal with distractions at work? I minimize distractions by staying focused and managing my time. I minimize distractions by staying focused and managing my time. I minimize distractions by staying focused and managing my time. How would you handle an angry customer? How would you handle an angry customer? How would you handle an angry customer? I stay calm, listen to their concerns, and offer a solution. I stay calm, listen to their concerns, and offer a solution. I stay calm, listen to their concerns, and offer a solution. How do you maintain your motivation in routine tasks? How do you maintain your motivation in routine tasks? How do you maintain your motivation in routine tasks? I stay focused on the bigger picture and set small goals. I stay focused on the bigger picture and set small goals. I stay focused on the bigger picture and set small goals. What makes you passionate about your work? What makes you passionate about your work? What makes you passionate about your work? I'm passionate about delivering excellent service and solving problems. I'm passionate about delivering excellent service and solving problems. I'm passionate about delivering excellent service and solving problems. How do you balance work and personal life? How do you balance work and personal life? How do you balance work and personal life? I prioritize tasks, set boundaries, and make time for personal activities. I prioritize tasks, set boundaries, and make time for personal activities. I prioritize tasks, set boundaries, and make time for personal activities. How do you manage a heavy workload? How do you manage a heavy workload? How do you manage a heavy workload? I break tasks into smaller parts and prioritize based on deadlines. I break tasks into smaller parts and prioritize based on deadlines. I break tasks into smaller parts and prioritize based on deadlines. How do you stay positive when things go wrong at work? How do you stay positive when things go wrong at work? How do you stay positive when things go wrong at work? I stay calm, find solutions, and learn from the experience. I stay calm, find solutions, and learn from the experience. I stay calm, find solutions, and learn from the experience. What are your expectations from this role? What are your expectations from this role? What are your expectations from this role? I expect opportunities for growth and development in this role. I expect opportunities for growth and development in this role. I expect opportunities for growth and development in this role. How do you stay on top of your work? How do you stay on top of your work? How do you stay on top of your work? I plan ahead, prioritize tasks, and stay organized. I plan ahead, prioritize tasks, and stay organized. I plan ahead, prioritize tasks, and stay organized. What do you consider your greatest weakness? What do you consider your greatest weakness? What do you consider your greatest weakness? I'm working on not overthinking things and trusting my decisions. I'm working on not overthinking things and trusting my decisions. I'm working on not overthinking things and trusting my decisions. How do you handle long hours or overtime? How do you handle long hours or overtime? How do you handle long hours or overtime? I stay focused and manage my energy to ensure productivity. I stay focused and manage my energy to ensure productivity. I stay focused and manage my energy to ensure productivity. What interests you about this company? What interests you about this company? What interests you about this company? I admire your company's values and its commitment to customer service. I admire your company's values and its commitment to customer service. I admire your company's values and its commitment to customer service. How do you handle a lack of direction or ambiguity at work? How do you handle a lack of direction or ambiguity at work? How do you handle a lack of direction or ambiguity at work? I seek clarification, ask questions, and make sure I'm aligned with the goals. I seek clarification, ask questions, and make sure I'm aligned with the goals. I seek clarification, ask questions, and make sure I'm aligned with the goals. What's your experience working in a fast-paced environment? What's your experience working in a fast-paced environment? What's your experience working in a fast-paced environment? I thrive in fast-paced environments and can quickly adapt to changes. I thrive in fast-paced environments and can quickly adapt to changes. I thrive in fast-paced environments and can quickly adapt to changes. How do you prioritize your tasks? How do you prioritize your tasks? How do you prioritize your tasks? I use a to-do list and focus on the most urgent tasks first. I use a to-do list and focus on the most urgent tasks first. I use a to-do list and focus on the most urgent tasks first. What motivates you to succeed? What motivates you to succeed? What motivates you to succeed? Achieving goals and helping others motivates me. Achieving goals and helping others motivates me. Achieving goals and helping others motivates me. How do you handle stressful situations? How do you handle stressful situations? How do you handle stressful situations? I stay calm, break tasks into smaller steps, and focus on solutions. I stay calm, break tasks into smaller steps, and focus on solutions. I stay calm, break tasks into smaller steps, and focus on solutions. How do you manage multiple deadlines? How do you manage multiple deadlines? How do you manage multiple deadlines? I organize my tasks, set priorities, and track my progress. I organize my tasks, set priorities, and track my progress. I organize my tasks, set priorities, and track my progress. What's your experience with customer service? What's your experience with customer service? What's your experience with customer service? I've worked with customers for 2 years, resolving inquiries and issues. I've worked with customers for 2 years, resolving inquiries and issues. I've worked with customers for 2 years, resolving inquiries and issues. How do you manage time-sensitive tasks? How do you manage time-sensitive tasks? How do you manage time-sensitive tasks? I stay organized, focus on priorities, and complete tasks on time. I stay organized, focus on priorities, and complete tasks on time. I stay organized, focus on priorities, and complete tasks on time. What skills do you bring to the team? What skills do you bring to the team? What skills do you bring to the team? I bring strong communication, problem-solving, and time management skills. I bring strong communication, problem-solving, and time management skills. I bring strong communication, problem-solving, and time management skills. What's your approach to decision-making? What's your approach to decision-making? What's your approach to decision-making? I gather information, analyze it, and make informed decisions. I gather information, analyze it, and make informed decisions. I gather information, analyze it, and make informed decisions. How do you stay motivated during repetitive tasks? How do you stay motivated during repetitive tasks? How do you stay motivated during repetitive tasks? I focus on the bigger picture and remind myself of the end goal. I focus on the bigger picture and remind myself of the end goal. I focus on the bigger picture and remind myself of the end goal. How do you handle conflicts in the workplace? How do you handle conflicts in the workplace? How do you handle conflicts in the workplace? I listen to both sides, stay calm, and work to find a solution. I listen to both sides, stay calm, and work to find a solution. I listen to both sides, stay calm, and work to find a solution. How do you handle difficult clients? How do you handle difficult clients? How do you handle difficult clients? I stay patient, listen, and work towards a resolution. I stay patient, listen, and work towards a resolution. I stay patient, listen, and work towards a resolution. What's your experience with project management? What's your experience with project management? What's your experience with project management? I've managed small projects, ensuring deadlines and quality are met. I've managed small projects, ensuring deadlines and quality are met. I've managed small projects, ensuring deadlines and quality are met. How do you keep track of progress at work? How do you keep track of progress at work? How do you keep track of progress at work? I set clear goals, track progress, and adjust if needed. I set clear goals, track progress, and adjust if needed. I set clear goals, track progress, and adjust if needed. What are your goals for the next year? What are your goals for the next year? What are your goals for the next year? I plan to take on more responsibilities and improve my skills. I plan to take on more responsibilities and improve my skills. I plan to take on more responsibilities and improve my skills. How do you ensure high-quality work? How do you ensure high-quality work? How do you ensure high-quality work? I double-check my work and stay focused on details. I double-check my work and stay focused on details. I double-check my work and stay focused on details. How do you manage competing priorities? How do you manage competing priorities? How do you manage competing priorities? I assess urgency, prioritize tasks, and handle them one by one. I assess urgency, prioritize tasks, and handle them one by one. I assess urgency, prioritize tasks, and handle them one by one. How do you stay productive? How do you stay productive? How do you stay productive? I stay organized, avoid distractions, and focus on tasks at hand. I stay organized, avoid distractions, and focus on tasks at hand. I stay organized, avoid distractions, and focus on tasks at hand. What kind of feedback helps you grow? What kind of feedback helps you grow? What kind of feedback helps you grow? I appreciate constructive feedback that helps me improve my work. I appreciate constructive feedback that helps me improve my work. I appreciate constructive feedback that helps me improve my work. How do you handle long hours at work? How do you handle long hours at work? How do you handle long hours at work? I stay focused, take breaks when needed, and manage my time effectively. I stay focused, take breaks when needed, and manage my time effectively. I stay focused, take breaks when needed, and manage my time effectively. How do you manage your workload during peak periods? How do you manage your workload during peak periods? How do you manage your workload during peak periods? I prioritize and delegate tasks where possible to ensure efficiency. I prioritize and delegate tasks where possible to ensure efficiency. I prioritize and delegate tasks where possible to ensure efficiency. What makes you a good fit for this role? What makes you a good fit for this role? What makes you a good fit for this role? My skills and experience align perfectly with the job requirements. My skills and experience align perfectly with the job requirements. My skills and experience align perfectly with the job requirements. How do you handle tight deadlines? How do you handle tight deadlines? How do you handle tight deadlines? I stay focused, prioritize, and ensure I meet deadlines. I stay focused, prioritize, and ensure I meet deadlines. I stay focused, prioritize, and ensure I meet deadlines. How do you keep up with industry trends? How do you keep up with industry trends? How do you keep up with industry trends? I read articles, attend webinars, and network with professionals. I read articles, attend webinars, and network with professionals. I read articles, attend webinars, and network with professionals. How do you deal with change at work? How do you deal with change at work? How do you deal with change at work? I stay flexible, adapt quickly, and help others adjust to new changes. I stay flexible, adapt quickly, and help others adjust to new changes. I stay flexible, adapt quickly, and help others adjust to new changes. What do you like most about working with others? What do you like most about working with others? What do you like most about working with others? I enjoy collaborating, sharing ideas, and learning from others. I enjoy collaborating, sharing ideas, and learning from others. I enjoy collaborating, sharing ideas, and learning from others. How do you stay organized when managing multiple projects? How do you stay organized when managing multiple projects? How do you stay organized when managing multiple projects? I break projects into smaller tasks and focus on one at a time. I break projects into smaller tasks and focus on one at a time. I break projects into smaller tasks and focus on one at a time. How do you handle mistakes at work? How do you handle mistakes at work? How do you handle mistakes at work? I acknowledge them, correct them, and learn from the experience. I acknowledge them, correct them, and learn from the experience. I acknowledge them, correct them, and learn from the experience. What would you do if you disagreed with your manager? What would you do if you disagreed with your manager? What would you do if you disagreed with your manager? I would discuss my concerns respectfully and work towards a solution. I would discuss my concerns respectfully and work towards a solution. I would discuss my concerns respectfully and work towards a solution. How do you stay focused during long tasks? How do you stay focused during long tasks? How do you stay focused during long tasks? I take short breaks and stay organized to maintain productivity. I take short breaks and stay organized to maintain productivity. I take short breaks and stay organized to maintain productivity. What's your experience with handling customer complaints? What's your experience with handling customer complaints? What's your experience with handling customer complaints? I've resolved complaints by listening, empathizing, and offering solutions. I've resolved complaints by listening, empathizing, and offering solutions. I've resolved complaints by listening, empathizing, and offering solutions. How do you manage a challenging workload? How do you manage a challenging workload? How do you manage a challenging workload? I prioritize, stay organized, and ask for help when necessary. I prioritize, stay organized, and ask for help when necessary. I prioritize, stay organized, and ask for help when necessary. How do you handle stress and pressure? How do you handle stress and pressure? How do you handle stress and pressure? I stay calm, focus on priorities, and manage my time effectively. I stay calm, focus on priorities, and manage my time effectively. I stay calm, focus on priorities, and manage my time effectively. What makes you excited about this position? What makes you excited about this position? What makes you excited about this position? This position aligns with my skills and offers growth opportunities. This position aligns with my skills and offers growth opportunities. This position aligns with my skills and offers growth opportunities. How do you deal with repetitive tasks at work? How do you deal with repetitive tasks at work? How do you deal with repetitive tasks at work? I stay focused and remind myself of the overall goal to stay motivated. I stay focused and remind myself of the overall goal to stay motivated. I stay focused and remind myself of the overall goal to stay motivated. How do you deal with a difficult colleague? How do you deal with a difficult colleague? How do you deal with a difficult colleague? I listen, communicate openly, and try to find a solution. I listen, communicate openly, and try to find a solution. I listen, communicate openly, and try to find a solution. What are your salary expectations? What are your salary expectations? What are your salary expectations? I expect a competitive salary based on my experience and skills. I expect a competitive salary based on my experience and skills. I expect a competitive salary based on my experience and skills. How do you stay positive during tough times at work? How do you stay positive during tough times at work? How do you stay positive during tough times at work? I focus on solutions and remind myself of my achievements. I focus on solutions and remind myself of my achievements. I focus on solutions and remind myself of my achievements. How do you approach working on a team project? How do you approach working on a team project? How do you approach working on a team project? I collaborate, communicate openly, and contribute to the team's success. I collaborate, communicate openly, and contribute to the team's success. I collaborate, communicate openly, and contribute to the team's success. How do you ensure good communication within a team? How do you ensure good communication within a team? How do you ensure good communication within a team? I ensure everyone is heard and encourage open communication. I ensure everyone is heard and encourage open communication. I ensure everyone is heard and encourage open communication. How do you handle a situation when you have too many tasks? How do you handle a situation when you have too many tasks? How do you handle a situation when you have too many tasks? I prioritize and delegate where possible to stay on top of my work. I prioritize and delegate where possible to stay on top of my work. I prioritize and delegate where possible to stay on top of my work. What motivates you to do your best at work? What motivates you to do your best at work? What motivates you to do your best at work? I'm motivated by meeting deadlines and achieving goals. I'm motivated by meeting deadlines and achieving goals. I'm motivated by meeting deadlines and achieving goals. How do you manage tight schedules? How do you manage tight schedules? How do you manage tight schedules? I stay organized, focus on priorities, and work efficiently. I stay organized, focus on priorities, and work efficiently. I stay organized, focus on priorities, and work efficiently. What's your experience with budgeting or managing finances? What's your experience with budgeting or managing finances? What's your experience with budgeting or managing finances? I've handled budgets for projects and managed expenses effectively. I've handled budgets for projects and managed expenses effectively. I've handled budgets for projects and managed expenses effectively. What type of management style do you respond best to? What type of management style do you respond best to? What type of management style do you respond best to? I respond well to a management style that is clear, supportive, and motivating. I respond well to a management style that is clear, supportive, and motivating. I respond well to a management style that is clear, supportive, and motivating. How do you approach learning new skills? How do you approach learning new skills? How do you approach learning new skills? I seek resources, practice, and apply new skills regularly. I seek resources, practice, and apply new skills regularly. I seek resources, practice, and apply new skills regularly. How do you handle an unexpected change at work? How do you handle an unexpected change at work? How do you handle an unexpected change at work? I adapt quickly, stay flexible, and find the best solution. I adapt quickly, stay flexible, and find the best solution. I adapt quickly, stay flexible, and find the best solution. How do you manage time when working on multiple tasks? How do you manage time when working on multiple tasks? How do you manage time when working on multiple tasks? I prioritize tasks and break them into manageable steps. I prioritize tasks and break them into manageable steps. I prioritize tasks and break them into manageable steps. What's the most challenging part of your job? What's the most challenging part of your job? What's the most challenging part of your job? Balancing multiple tasks and deadlines, but I manage it well. Balancing multiple tasks and deadlines, but I manage it well. Balancing multiple tasks and deadlines, but I manage it well. How do you approach multitasking? How do you approach multitasking? How do you approach multitasking? I stay organized, focus on one task at a time, and switch when needed. I stay organized, focus on one task at a time, and switch when needed. I stay organized, focus on one task at a time, and switch when needed. How do you stay productive during challenging projects? How do you stay productive during challenging projects? How do you stay productive during challenging projects? I break down tasks, set goals, and stay motivated. I break down tasks, set goals, and stay motivated. I break down tasks, set goals, and stay motivated. What do you do when faced with a tight deadline? What do you do when faced with a tight deadline? What do you do when faced with a tight deadline? I plan, prioritize, and stay focused to meet the deadline. I plan, prioritize, and stay focused to meet the deadline. I plan, prioritize, and stay focused to meet the deadline. What do you enjoy most about working in a team? What do you enjoy most about working in a team? What do you enjoy most about working in a team? I enjoy learning from others and collaborating to achieve goals. I enjoy learning from others and collaborating to achieve goals. I enjoy learning from others and collaborating to achieve goals. How do you ensure accuracy in your work? How do you ensure accuracy in your work? How do you ensure accuracy in your work? I double-check my work, focus on details, and maintain a high standard. I double-check my work, focus on details, and maintain a high standard. I double-check my work, focus on details, and maintain a high standard. How do you stay motivated during repetitive work? How do you stay motivated during repetitive work? How do you stay motivated during repetitive work? I stay focused on the end goal and remind myself of the bigger picture. I stay focused on the end goal and remind myself of the bigger picture. I stay focused on the end goal and remind myself of the bigger picture. How do you stay organized? How do you stay organized? How do you stay organized? I use a to-do list and set reminders. I use a to-do list and set reminders. I use a to-do list and set reminders. What motivates you to perform well? What motivates you to perform well? What motivates you to perform well? I'm motivated by meeting goals and helping others. I'm motivated by meeting goals and helping others. I'm motivated by meeting goals and helping others. How do you handle challenging situations? How do you handle challenging situations? How do you handle challenging situations? I stay calm, analyze the issue, and find a solution. I stay calm, analyze the issue, and find a solution. I stay calm, analyze the issue, and find a solution. What's your experience with team management? What's your experience with team management? What's your experience with team management? I've led small teams to complete projects on time. I've led small teams to complete projects on time. I've led small teams to complete projects on time. How do you stay focused during long tasks? How do you stay focused during long tasks? How do you stay focused during long tasks? I set small milestones and stay organized. I set small milestones and stay organized. I set small milestones and stay organized. How do you handle competing priorities? How do you handle competing priorities? How do you handle competing priorities? I prioritize based on urgency and importance. I prioritize based on urgency and importance. I prioritize based on urgency and importance. How do you deal with repetitive tasks? How do you deal with repetitive tasks? How do you deal with repetitive tasks? I stay focused and remind myself of the goal. I stay focused and remind myself of the goal. I stay focused and remind myself of the goal. How do you handle tight schedules? How do you handle tight schedules? How do you handle tight schedules? I manage time well and ensure all tasks are completed on time. I manage time well and ensure all tasks are completed on time. I manage time well and ensure all tasks are completed on time. How do you keep your skills updated? How do you keep your skills updated? How do you keep your skills updated? I take courses and read industry-related articles. I take courses and read industry-related articles. I take courses and read industry-related articles. What do you enjoy most about this industry? What do you enjoy most about this industry? What do you enjoy most about this industry? I enjoy solving problems and working with new technologies. I enjoy solving problems and working with new technology. I enjoy solving problems and working with new technologies. How do you approach learning new things? How do you approach learning new things? How do you approach learning new things? I read, practice, and ask for feedback to improve. I read, practice, and ask for feedback to improve. I read, practice, and ask for feedback to improve. How do you manage deadlines? How do you manage deadlines? How do you manage deadlines? I stay organized and plan my work ahead of time. I stay organized and plan my work ahead of time. I stay organized and plan my work ahead of time. Can you work independently? Can you work independently? Can you work independently? Yes, I'm confident in working alone and managing tasks. Yes, I'm confident in working alone and managing tasks. Yes, I'm confident in working alone and managing tasks. What would you do if you had too much work? What would you do if you had too much work? What would you do if you had too much work? I'd prioritize tasks and ask for help if needed. I'd prioritize tasks and ask for help if needed. I'd prioritize tasks and ask for help if needed. How do you ensure quality in your work? How do you ensure quality in your work? How do you ensure quality in your work? I double-check my work and follow guidelines carefully. I double-check my work and follow guidelines carefully. I double-check my work and follow guidelines carefully. How do you stay calm under pressure? How do you stay calm under pressure? How do you stay calm under pressure? I focus on the task and break it down into manageable steps. I focus on the task and break it down into manageable steps. I focus on the task and break it down into manageable steps. What's your approach to problem solving? What's your approach to problem solving? What's your approach to problem solving? I analyze the situation, think critically, and find the best solution. I analyze the situation, think critically, and find the best solution. I analyze the situation, think critically, and find the best solution. How do you stay productive during difficult tasks? How do you stay productive during difficult tasks? How do you stay productive during difficult tasks? I break them into smaller tasks and stay focused on completing them. I break them into smaller tasks and stay focused on completing them. I break them into smaller tasks and stay focused on completing them. How do you handle feedback from others? How do you handle feedback from others? How do you handle feedback from others? I listen carefully and use feedback to improve my work. I listen carefully and use feedback to improve my work. I listen carefully and use feedback to improve my work. How do you stay motivated in a team? How do you stay motivated in a team? How do you stay motivated in a team? I encourage others and contribute to achieving common goals. I encourage others and contribute to achieving common goals. I encourage others and contribute to achieving common goals. How do you deal with challenging team members? How do you deal with challenging team members? How do you deal with challenging team members? I address concerns respectfully and focus on team goals. I address concerns respectfully and focus on team goals. I address concerns respectfully and focus on team goals. What is your experience with multitasking? What is your experience with multitasking? What is your experience with multitasking? I manage multiple tasks by staying organized and focused. I manage multiple tasks by staying organized and focused. I manage multiple tasks by staying organized and focused. How do you manage time in a busy work environment? How do you manage time in a busy work environment? How do you manage time in a busy work environment? I prioritize tasks and stay on top of deadlines. I prioritize tasks and stay on top of deadlines. I prioritize tasks and stay on top of deadlines. What's your experience with customer service? What's your experience with customer service? What's your experience with customer service? I've worked in customer service for 2 years, resolving inquiries. I've worked in customer service for 2 years, resolving inquiries. I've worked in customer service for 2 years, resolving inquiries. How do you handle an upset customer? How do you handle an upset customer? How do you handle an upset customer? I listen, empathize, and offer solutions to resolve the issue. I listen, empathize, and offer solutions to resolve the issue. I listen, empathize, and offer solutions to resolve the issue. How do you stay organized when handling many tasks? How do you stay organized when handling many tasks? How do you stay organized when handling many tasks? I use a task management system to keep track of everything. I use a task management system to keep track of everything. I use a task management system to keep track of everything. How do you handle stressful work situations? How do you handle stressful work situations? How do you handle stressful work situations? I stay calm, assess the situation, and act quickly to find a solution. I stay calm, assess the situation, and act quickly to find a solution. I stay calm, assess the situation, and act quickly to find a solution. How do you manage long hours? How do you manage long hours? How do you manage long hours? I maintain focus and stay organized to stay productive. I maintain focus and stay organized to stay productive. I maintain focus and stay organized to stay productive. What do you consider your biggest professional achievement? What do you consider your biggest professional achievement? What do you consider your biggest professional achievement? I helped streamline processes, improving efficiency. I helped streamline processes, improving efficiency. I helped streamline processes, improving efficiency. How do you deal with workplace distractions? How do you deal with workplace distractions? How do you deal with workplace distractions? I minimize distractions and stay focused on my tasks. I minimize distractions and stay focused on my tasks. I minimize distractions and stay focused on my tasks. How do you ensure teamwork success? How do you ensure teamwork success? How do you ensure teamwork success? I communicate clearly and offer support to my team members. I communicate clearly and offer support to my team members. I communicate clearly and offer support to my team members. What do you do when facing a difficult decision at work? What do you do when facing a difficult decision at work? What do you do when facing a difficult decision at work? I gather information, evaluate the options, and make an informed decision. I gather information, evaluate the options, and make an informed decision. I gather information, evaluate the options, and make an informed decision. How do you maintain work-life balance? How do you maintain work-life balance? How do you maintain work-life balance? I prioritize my tasks and make time for personal activities. I prioritize my tasks and make time for personal activities. I prioritize my tasks and make time for personal activities. How do you approach new challenges at work? How do you approach new challenges at work? How do you approach new challenges at work? I stay open-minded, learn quickly, and tackle challenges head-on. I stay open-minded, learn quickly, and tackle challenges head-on. I stay open-minded, learn quickly, and tackle challenges head-on. How do you stay organized in a fast-paced work environment? How do you stay organized in a fast-paced work environment? How do you stay organized in a fast-paced work environment? I keep a clear to-do list and manage my time effectively. I keep a clear to-do list and manage my time effectively. I keep a clear to-do list and manage my time effectively. How do you handle unexpected tasks? How do you handle unexpected tasks? How do you handle unexpected tasks? I remain flexible, prioritize, and handle tasks as they arise. I remain flexible, prioritize, and handle tasks as they arise. I remain flexible, prioritize, and handle tasks as they arise. What's your approach to conflict resolution? What's your approach to conflict resolution? What's your approach to conflict resolution? I listen to both sides and work towards a fair solution. I listen to both sides and work towards a fair solution. I listen to both sides and work towards a fair solution. How do you motivate your team? How do you motivate your team? How do you motivate your team? I lead by example, support others, and encourage collaboration. I lead by example, support others, and encourage collaboration. I lead by example, support others, and encourage collaboration. How do you handle tight deadlines? How do you handle tight deadlines? How do you handle tight deadlines? I stay focused, manage time wisely, and ask for help when needed. I stay focused, manage time wisely, and ask for help when needed. I stay focused, manage time wisely, and ask for help when needed. What are your salary expectations? What are your salary expectations? What are your salary expectations? I expect a competitive salary based on my skills and experience. I expect a competitive salary based on my skills and experience. I expect a competitive salary based on my skills and experience. How do you ensure your work meets expectations? How do you ensure your work meets expectations? How do you ensure your work meets expectations? I double-check everything, stay organized, and meet deadlines. I double-check everything, stay organized, and meet deadlines. I double-check everything, stay organized, and meet deadlines. How do you deal with failure? How do you deal with failure? How do you deal with failure? I learn from it and use it as an opportunity to grow. I learn from it and use it as an opportunity to grow. I learn from it and use it as an opportunity to grow. What's your experience with working in a remote environment? What's your experience with working in a remote environment? What's your experience with working in a remote environment? I have experience working remotely, managing tasks, and staying productive. I have experience working remotely, managing tasks, and staying productive. I have experience working remotely, managing tasks, and staying productive. How do you stay focused on your goals? How do you stay focused on your goals? How do you stay focused on your goals? I set clear goals and keep track of my progress regularly. I set clear goals and keep track of my progress regularly. I set clear goals and keep track of my progress regularly. What's your approach to time management? What's your approach to time management? What's your approach to time management? I plan my day, set priorities, and stick to deadlines. I plan my day, set priorities, and stick to deadlines. I plan my day, set priorities, and stick to deadlines. How do you ensure good communication in a team? How do you ensure good communication in a team? How do you ensure good communication in a team? I encourage open communication and keep everyone informed. I encourage open communication and keep everyone informed. I encourage open communication and keep everyone informed. How do you handle mistakes at work? How do you handle mistakes at work? How do you handle mistakes at work? I acknowledge them, correct them, and learn from the experience. I acknowledge them, correct them, and learn from the experience. I acknowledge them, correct them, and learn from the experience. How do you manage a heavy workload? How do you manage a heavy workload? How do you manage a heavy workload? I prioritize tasks, delegate when needed, and stay organized. I prioritize tasks, delegate when needed, and stay organized. I prioritize tasks, delegate when needed, and stay organized. How do you deal with a challenging colleague? How do you deal with a challenging colleague? How do you deal with a challenging colleague? I stay professional, communicate clearly, and seek solutions. I stay professional, communicate clearly, and seek solutions. I stay professional, communicate clearly, and seek solutions. How do you stay productive when feeling demotivated? How do you stay productive when feeling demotivated? How do you stay productive when feeling demotivated? I break tasks into smaller goals and stay focused on completing them. I break tasks into smaller goals and stay focused on completing them. I break tasks into smaller goals and stay focused on completing them. How do you approach leadership in a team? How do you approach leadership in a team? How do you approach leadership in a team? I lead by motivating others and ensuring everyone contributes. I lead by motivating others and ensuring everyone contributes. I lead by motivating others and ensuring everyone contributes. What do you like about working with others? What do you like about working with others? What do you like about working with others? I enjoy collaborating and learning from different perspectives. I enjoy collaborating and learning from different perspectives. I enjoy collaborating and learning from different perspectives. How do you deal with repetitive tasks at work? How do you deal with repetitive tasks at work? How do you deal with repetitive tasks at work? I stay focused on completing them efficiently and effectively. I stay focused on completing them efficiently and effectively. I stay focused on completing them efficiently and effectively. What's your approach to handling deadlines? What's your approach to handling deadlines? What's your approach to handling deadlines? I prioritize tasks, set realistic deadlines, and manage my time carefully. I prioritize tasks, set realistic deadlines, and manage my time carefully. I prioritize tasks, set realistic deadlines, and manage my time carefully. How do you keep up with new developments in your field? How do you keep up with new developments in your field? How do you keep up with new developments in your field? I attend webinars, read articles, and network with professionals. I attend webinars, read articles, and network with professionals. I attend webinars, read articles, and network with professionals. How do you manage customer expectations? How do you manage customer expectations? How do you manage customer expectations? I listen carefully, set clear expectations, and follow through on commitments. I listen carefully, set clear expectations, and follow through on commitments. I listen carefully, set clear expectations, and follow through on commitments. How do you ensure your work is error-free? How do you ensure your work is error-free? How do you ensure your work is error-free? I double-check my work and maintain attention to detail. I double-check my work and maintain attention to detail. I double-check my work and maintain attention to detail. How do you stay motivated when working alone? How do you stay motivated when working alone? How do you stay motivated when working alone? I set goals, stay organized, and focus on completing tasks. I set goals, stay organized, and focus on completing tasks. I set goals, stay organized, and focus on completing tasks. What do you consider a successful workday? What do you consider a successful workday? What do you consider a successful workday? A successful day is one where I complete all tasks and achieve my goals. A successful day is one where I complete all tasks and achieve my goals. A successful day is one where I complete all tasks and achieve my goals. How do you prioritize when there are multiple urgent tasks? How do you prioritize when there are multiple urgent tasks? How do you prioritize when there are multiple urgent tasks? I evaluate urgency and focus on the most important tasks first. I evaluate urgency and focus on the most important tasks first. I evaluate urgency and focus on the most important tasks first. How do you keep track of your progress? How do you keep track of your progress? How do you keep track of your progress? I set goals, track results, and make adjustments if necessary. I set goals, track results, and make adjustments if necessary. I set goals, track results, and make adjustments if necessary. How do you manage your time during busy periods? How do you manage your time during busy periods? How do you manage your time during busy periods? I prioritize tasks and stay organized to ensure everything gets done. I prioritize tasks and stay organized to ensure everything gets done. I prioritize tasks and stay organized to ensure everything gets done.